It's been a while since I've last come online. My name is Sham. This is 0x5. The truth is always out there. Here we're going to talk about a little bit about Bitcoin today, talk about the market today, the current volatility, right? You might be wondering why I'm looking down the left. I've got my charts open. Um, Basically, look, let's put it this way, right? So there are a few things that we've noticed. I mean, the other day I made a live stream, and I think even on Discord as well, I kind of tagged everyone. I said, guys, things don't look right. You know what I mean? Things just don't look like right. So we had everything that we expected based on the charts. And anything I say here is not going to be my opinion. It's going to be 100% based on the charts, right? So this is just the facts on the chart, nothing more. Of course, there's a story and there's a narrative and all sorts of other stuff on the charts, which we will talk about and kind of try and translate that into real world scenarios and say what's going to happen, right? So I see KR here, also my brother, nice to see you. Costin here, nice to see you too, my brother. Right, so let's talk about this. Of course, this is a completely unscheduled, unannounced, random, because KR just said, brother, can you do a live? I was like, yep, get ready. I'm doing it right now. So I'm here, right? So I'm going to talk about the market, and I'm going to start off with some of the shorter time frames, right? Let's get into the meat of it, because at the end of the day, there's no point going around the block, right? So we need to talk about the market for what it is right now. So as we got the signal last week, we got a strong signal saying, look, we're going to be bloody, right? So we got that exactly, right? And right now, basically, the signal that we got, funnily, is the complete opposite, right? So there's a few things you have to look at, right? So I'm going to mention a few bits here, right? So first of all, I'm recording on my new device, which arrived last week. So I pre-ordered the new Samsung S25 Ultra. So I'm recording on that, doing a live stream. So please do let me know how the audio is. If the audio is any good or bad, let me know, right? But that came with a few bits and bobs that I'm really loving, right? So it came with a whole bunch of AI, which actually did the title today. So I would like to give credit to that. And it's got a bunch of widgets, right? So I actually get to see at a glance every day in the morning, my now brief or whatever tells me, right? So weird stuff, right? I know what the fear and greed is. So that's 38. And I'm like, wow, okay. So fear, we have extreme fear in the market, right? Anything below 50% is extreme, right? So we've got that, right? Is it the best? Absolutely not. I would love to see fear around 15-20%, right? 20 would be a good number. 25 would be even better, right? So let's say average 20 to 25. That's what I would love to see the fear index at, but that's not where we are. We're at 38. Okay, fine. It's less than 50%. That's good. That's good. So we know we're below the neutral zone, because neutral starts from 40 to 60. That's neutral. So we're below that, right? So just, a little bit, just to kind of give you a bit of context, right? What am I seeing right now? So I see fear, which I'm happy about, right? Of course, I want to see a little bit more. So whatever happens, happens, right? Now, that's fear. Unfortunately, with the alts, the altcoin index, right? So where we see the altcoins, are we in a altcoin season or not? Unfortunately, that's gone freaking bloody, to the point where I'm going to give you an actual fact here. My altcoin portfolio overall, on average, has demolished by about 50%. So my holding currently is worth 50% less than it was a week ago. That's how bad it's been for the altcoins, right? Because of what's happened here. And unfortunately, that's the reality. Bitcoin does 1%, everything else does 5%. Bitcoin does 10%, everything else does 20-30%. Right? That's the reality. So that's what's happened here, right? However, every single signal that I'm seeing on all the shorter time frames, 12 hours, 1 day, 3 day, 5 day, even a freaking weekly, even a 2 weekly, is telling us buy the freaking dip, because we're about to make a big move. So this is what I'm seeing. So I'm like, okay, hold on. So I've lost 50% on my altcoin portfolio, the valuation on my altcoin portfolio, right? I've lost that. But you're signaling me to buy. You're signaling me to buy. So hold on, what am I going to do right now, right? So I'm in a bit of a dilemma. I'm like, hold on, I've bled out. The only one that's still I'm still in profit is BTC, right? The only one I'm still in profit is Ethereum, right? That's the only one I'm in profit. The rest of them, there are some, I made some, I don't know. I just made some calls the other day. For example, I said, look, I dumped my crow, right? I kept a little bit, but I dumped 50% on my crow. That was a good call, because I was 30% up. And I was like, you know what? I need some white powder. I talked about it. Every one of you are a witness. I talked about it. I said I need white powder because I know something's going to happen and I need to be able to buy what I want. Well, guess what? My dry powder right now has come in handy, right? So I bought some dips, right? I bought some dips. Just a little, you know, kind of diversified a little bit. 10, 15 different coins. Just a couple of hundred here, a couple of times, you know, just a little small amount here and there. I did that. But now I'm thinking, hold on. If the market's signaling for me to go up, and it's telling me that, look, this market's not over. The bull run is not over. BTC has to hold 92,700 for an average, right? Has to hold that. And of course, we're still fine up to $90,000. And guess what? We've talked about $90,000 2-3 months ago, right? Live stream 2-3 months ago. So we're still in the game as far as I'm concerned. So far, everything is good. Going to that 109 was actually fairly good for us because it gave us a higher level to kind of hold. And of course, if we dump below that, like for example, when's the bull market over, right? So we now have a higher number which would say where the bull market invalidation is, right? So prior to, for example, before we had an invalidation, I'm actually going to change the timeline to see this, right, to give you an accurate number, right? So currently our bull market invalidation would be around, I don't know, $86,000. So we should start panicking around $86,000 to $78,000. That's not a large number. When you look at the whole number, it's not a large number. That's when we start panicking. Bull market's over, guys. Right, that's it. Sell our bags and get lost, right? Of course, we always say, I always talk about stop loss, right? That comes in handy. But in this particular scenario, I'm not even bothered about the stop loss. I'm not even bothered about none of that stuff. I'm saying this is time to buy. This is time to buy. And of course, none of this is financial advice before you guys turn around and go, this is financial advice. No, it's not financial advice. But this is the time to go. And my strategy right now, of course, I've deployed my dry powder. I'm done, right? So now the next move I'm doing is I'm actually planning to go long. I'm actually planning to go long. I'm not even joking. This is the time when I'm going to do a whole bunch of leverage on a whole bunch of because I need to recover my 50%. And that's what I'm going to do. But I want to give all of you a big warning. I know a lot of you guys are here. I know especially KR, my brother, I'm taking your name. I apologize for this, but I'm about to say something, right? Whether you like it or not. And I'm just going to be completely transparent with you. Stop looking at the meme coins. Stop. We are not looking at meme coins right now. I've talked about this with you personally as well, and I've talked about it with other people as well, other clients as well. I've said the same thing, right? So those who are watching, I've told you all of these things. Guys, if you are planning to buy altcoins, please buy with a stop loss, because right now is not the time to buy anything. I've been transparent about my own strategy, my own portfolio the whole time. I said, guys, don't look at this because right now is the beginning of the end. And we stuck with that. We stuck with the beginning of the end. I don't care how bullish people get. I don't care how bullish the charts tell me we're going to go to 250, 300K. Doesn't matter. This is the beginning of the end. It means we either get a parabola or we don't. So far, the charts, exactly what I'm saying is the charts are telling me 12 hours, 1 day, 3 day, 5 day, 1 week, even on a 2 week. 2 weeks not complete yet. So we still have, I think, a week left to confirm that whether we're going to be bullish or not. But so far, everything is resetting. All the RSI resetting, all the MACDs resetting. Everything is resetting to the point where it says you are oversold to the point of oblivion. You want to survive, you want to move up, then you basically buy the dip right now. And you know me very well. All of you guys know me very well. I never ever mentioned buy the dip, right? But this is telling me buy the dip, be prepared. We're either going to make the biggest move out there, or we're going to end the market. So what we're going to do is one of two things. We're going to buy the dip with a stop loss. Number one, we're going to buy the dip with a stop loss. And we're going to basically, if we move up, then yeah, we're not going to do any take profit, nothing. We're just going to shoot all the way. Because when this parabola happens, if this parabola happens, based on the chart, I think it could easily go on for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Now, why is the market devastated? Why is the market crashing so bad? Believe me, it's not just crypto. It's the entire stocks and bonds and shares. Everything is collapsing. Why? It's to do with politics. Because right now, first we had DJs like us buying crypto. We were good. We were doing all right. And then we had the institutions. And those of you who follow me for the last 4 or 5 years on YouTube, you guys know this. I'm not a proud man. I'm not a happy man when it comes to institutions. I don't like institutions. I always said that they are a big problem because they got infinite amount of money. They got enough free money. They borrow money, do whatever. they're going to play and mess with us, right? So I've said that all the time, right? So right now, I'm not happy with them, but we've got a bigger problem now because we've got politics in there now. We've got politics, right? We've got tariff wars, we've got BS wars and this, that. Come on, guys. So these are not going to help us. So right now, we cannot look at the market like we looked at it before. Hence why I'm kind of ignoring everything prior to 2024, 2025. I'm ignoring. I'm like, do you know what? I don't care what the historical situations for BTC, crypto, Ethereum, all the freaking altcoins, the 3 million coins or 4 million coins that are being tracked by coin market cap and the 20 million coins that are there. I don't care about them. None of that story, none of that narrative, all the old traditions, all the old things on the chart do not matter. Do not matter. Why? Because we have to look at it in a different line. We have to look at things in a complete different way because we are not only the DJs now, we've got the institutions with the big bucks and we've got politics involved as well, right? So people will play like they will play currency wars. They're going to play trade wars with crypto right now. Things are getting nasty right now. So we have to be cautious and we have to play the game properly. And of course, our biggest bets have to be on the top dogs, right? The oldest dogs out there, because believe me, that's the only ones that are going to win. So we know that alts are going to get smashed. So be extra cautious. Of course, you want to have a bit of fun. Have a bit of fun, right? That's a whole different story. But don't go and chuck a couple of bags in there and all of that and then hope that you're going to make it big. Those numbers are not going to happen, right? When the main alts, like the blue chip alts, start dumping, believe me, the meme coins connected to them, they will dump hard as well, right? They will get decimated completely. Some of these meme coins are going to vanish. Even the established ones are going to vanish. I mean, I was shocked, right? How Bonk, Pepe, these are established. They got thrashed. They got thrashed. And these are the established ones, right? Think about the ones that are not established. Because when the panic comes in, people don't care. They just want to dump and get the hell out. You know what I mean? Just want to dump and get the hell out. And that's what's happened. So we have to be extra cautious right now. That's all I'm going to say. So if you guys have any questions, do let me know. So far, as I said, the charts are telling me, everything is telling me so far, we are ready to go. This is the opportunity to buy the dip. Of course, we've bled down a little bit. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about that because, again, remember, when I'm looking at the chart, I'm just looking at it in a complete, like, you know, a tunnel vision, right? I'm just looking at it in a particular way. I'm like, okay, where do we have to go and stop? How far can we go down? What's the worst thing that could happen to us, right? So those are the numbers I've looked at. And I was like, you know what? 92,700, beautiful. We have a nice little support zone there. If we can hold that, we're good. We're good. We can close the week and we're still good, right? We are not complaining. Now, we can also go all the way down to $90,000, which I've previously mentioned many times, and we're still fine. Brilliant, right? We're still freaking fine. So guess what? Because we already know what to expect, most people are expecting the unexpected, but we already expect that. We already knew what we want. We already knew what the market needs to pray. And this is before any news or any politics or any BS came out. All right? The numbers that I've given here are before any of those things, and the truth is always out there. My name is Sham. This is 0x5, and the truth is always out there, right? So we can go all the way up to $86,000, ain't got a problem. After 86, anything below 86, be concerned, guys. So for me, the way I'm playing the game, I'm like, you know what? $86,000, that's my level. And if it falls below that, then unfortunately we can dive down hard, right? And everything's going to be gone, right? Because that also does one other thing as well. If you look at the total market cap valuation based on the coins that are being tracked, obviously the other coins that are not tracked, that's a different story. But based on the coins that are being tracked, we're already at almost $3 trillion. We do not want to lose $3 trillion. Remember, I've said this before as well. $3 trillion is a psychological level. If we lose that, we've got no hopes of going to $4 trillion, right? We're hoping to go to $4, $5, $6 trillion. But if BTC drops that, a very small percentage, then the entire market bleeds out even further. And that's the biggest problem we've got. So this is one of the reasons why you got to be very cautious. As I said, my alts, the ones are 50% gone. You know, I did all right. I did a nice little long yesterday, very small long. That recovered a little bit, so I'm okay. But it was a simple day trade. I just went in, traded, I'm out. I went in the morning, I came out in the evening, and that was it, right? So it's not something I'm going to do, or I'm going to hold the trade for 2-3 days. No, I'm not going to do that. you got to be very, very cautious now. That, but it's all about basically kind of recovering some losses, nothing more. No revenge trading here, by the way. I'm not doing any revenge trading. I'm not shorting the market. I could have shorted the market. I'm not shorting the market, but I am longing the market to a, as I said, maximum a day or something like this. Jaffa says, "Hey bro, dang, this correction sucks." It's what we wanted, man. Come on, you don't say this sucks. What you need to understand, this is not a correction. By the way, this is not a correction. The last time when we went to $90,000 or $92,000, that was a correction. This was not a correction, bro. This was punishment. This was punishment, global political punishment. There's a difference between that. This was technically a black swan, right? So everything else we had was technical, right? Technical patterns and whatnot, right? And based on the analysis that we did, what we expect and all of those things. So we were throwing the numbers out there, and the numbers, we didn't say, oh, between this number. I didn't give you a number, say, oh, we want it between 80 and 90,000. I did. That's stupid. Look, that's too wide. I never gave that. I've specifically said, I even got a video there. I said, even before we went to 90, I said, I wish we go to $90,000. Why? Because that was a mathematical number. It's a good percentage to have as a correction. Nothing too severe, nothing too bad, and it doesn't impact the market. And we've had that, and the market didn't get impacted. In fact, just after that, the alt started to pump, because that's mathematical. What we had right now, this is not mathematical. This is pure political BS. Right? This is basically people fighting each other, doing whatever to damage whatever, because, Trump's, everyone knows, well, not Trump, I think his, I forgot what it's called, Liberty Finance or whatever it's called, right? So, World Liberty Finance, right? So he's got, he's kind of announced, or publicly people know how many Ethereum and whatnot he holds, right? And if you notice carefully, what you notice is actually the alts didn't dump, BTC didn't dump. It was the Ethereum that dumped. And I've talked about this many, many times to many guys before. I said, guys, there's a critical level in Ethereum. We cannot lose that. And that's exactly the level we lost. And when we lose that, everything else bleeds. And that's what happened, because Ethereum was very dangerous. And I've been banging on about that for months now. Come on, go back and watch the videos, right? I've been banging on about it for months and months now, how Ethereum is very disappointing and how technically we cannot lose a specific level, right? And that we lost that level. And unfortunately, that's the reason why we bled out. So it was the worst one that bled out. However, on the upside, when we had the black swan, the first one to pump the highest was Ethereum as well. I'm like, what's going on here, right? So clearly there's some manipulation going on. Market makers are doing what they need to. So remember, market makers don't only just make the price, they can also make the lower price as well. So they don't just up the price, they can also downgrade the price as well. So unfortunately, that's what's happening right now. And there are plenty of companies out there. I'm not sure if you're aware of how market makers work, but there are plenty of companies out there who you can pay to make your market for you. So whatever you want the price to go down, they will happily take the price down, because there are ways, right? Where there's a will, there's a way, and also where there's enough money, you can do so much stuff. Trust me. I'll give you a good example. For a $3 trillion market, all you need is $100 million to actually shift the market whatever direction you want. So it's actually quite easy to do. Of course, when we were smaller, it was different. There was even a time when I used to say, who controls the market? We control the market, because our community was small, obviously, but we could control the narrative. But as institutions took over, I don't say that anymore, because we don't control it. They control it. Do you know what I mean? And of course, the more money you can throw at these market makers, they can control whatever they want. So you got to be very careful. You got to understand these things. But as I said, for me, the way I'm looking at it is, this was a black swan, which is a good thing, because we love black swans, and we should be happy and glad that it didn't invalidate the bull market. So that's the beautiful thing to see. We didn't invalidate the bull market, right? I mean, right now, we might go in, for example, we've had a 109 was a number. So there's two scenarios. We can go on a parabola and shoot towards the 133, $200,000, $250,000. We can shoot towards that on a parabola, right? And that would benefit the alts as well, by the way. So the alts could potentially follow along as well. That's a good thing. The other scenario we got right now, we might actually even test the double top, right? Which is fine. I'm not too concerned. As I said, the higher we go, the higher our invalidation point becomes. So right now, if we want to invalidate this bull market, $86,000 is the invalidation. Anything below 86,000, right? I mean, we can technically wick below. So I would potentially, and I'm not even joking, I would have a buy order, a significant buy order just below $86,000, because there's two scenarios, right? Again, understand what I'm trying to say to you guys. Each move it makes, it has two scenarios. One, if we're going up, we shoot towards the 109, test that, double top, come down, boom, we fail. That's it, end of the market. Or we break past and we go to 133 or $200,000, whatever we want to go, however high we go, not a problem, right? Or the other scenario is it tests the 86,000 because that's the invalidation point, and we've got enough traders sitting there to buy that dip, right? And they push it back up, and that's where the parabola starts. So you see what I mean? So we can either start from here, or we can even go to $86,000 and start from there. So I will personally have a order just below $86,000, around 85,500, just in case we wick down, right? And the bulls want to move it up again. That's where I want to be. You see what I mean? I want to order at $86,000. That's where I want to be. Because from there, 86 to $109,000, you do the maths. That's a good 25-30%. Boom, right? So I could play that easily. So that's what I'm going to be playing. However, if we don't wick down and the body falls below, then it's over. Do you know what I mean? So that's where I would have my stop loss just below that, couple of percent, 1 or 2%, because I don't want to risk too much. So that's the game I'm going to play. Of course, each to their own. This is not financial advice. You guys do what's best for you, obviously. But I think I had a conversation with KR and a few other people as well, and I said, guys, stop thinking about how high we're gonna go, because that's all the FOMO stuff. That's all the what's it called, man? Dopamine. That's all the dopamine, right? So that's all you're gonna get. You're gonna get dopamine. You're gonna get hopium. That's just FOMO stuff. People just hyping it. Most people don't even understand the charts. If you understand the charts, and if you understand me, for example, right? I know a lot of people don't understand me, but if you understand me, if you understand the charts, right, you're able to follow the charts through and always be one step ahead. Because so far, guys, believe me or not, right, and believe me, excuse my language, but you tell me, haven't I told you at least a week before, at least a day before, or at least even as an emergency alert, guys, this is what I'm seeing? Haven't I said that? Hence why I don't even, for me, when I come on a live, sometimes I don't even know what to talk about, because I've already told you what's going to happen. I'm not those kind of a guy who's going to come like a parrot and repeat what's already happened. That's not what I'm going to do, right? I'll tell you what's, about to happen. So those are the scenarios that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, okay, worst case scenario, that's the scenario. Best case scenario, this is the scenario. But there's two reactions to each one, all right? And we've got to play accordingly. So that's all I can say. Do you know what I mean? Again, all based on charts. All based on charts. Nothing else. It's all mathematical, nothing more, right? So my personal opinion, I'm still bullish. That's my personal opinion. So if anyone wants to know what's my personal opinion, I'm freaking still bullish, because I think that we have a good opportunity, because again, the charts are telling us that this is the time to buy the dip and this is the time to start moving. All right. Now, of course, as I said, we've got until technically I would say 15th of February. I think it's 15th. Let me just check quickly, guys. Let me just check. Oh, double check. Give me a second. When does that candle close? I can't see when that candle closed, but I think it's the 15th. I think it's the 15th when the 15th when the 2 weekly candle resets. That's when we're going to be able to get a confirm. Rooney Top Kobe, I think Rooney Top Kobe. Buy what? Buy everything, man. Buy everything, bro. Buy everything. This is the opportunity to buy everything, whatever you want, right? Because this is, but as I said, you got to understand what the scenarios are, what the two probabilities are. That's the correct way to say it. There are two probabilities. On the way up, there's two probabilities. On the way down, there's two probabilities, right? So that's what it is. Jaffa says, I'm mega bullish long and medium term, not so much right now. Again, if you want to play long, there's a time to play long, obviously, but right now play cautiously, because I'm going long as well. So I'm being transparent with you. I'm going long, but I'm playing very cautiously with a stop loss. If I will not open a single long trade, I will not open any long trade without a stop loss. I will have to have a stop loss, and I will open multiple. So for example, if I have $100, I'm giving you a small number so that people can actually understand what I'm talking about. If I have $100 of cash sitting around that I can trade, I'm only going to play 10%. So that means I'm prepared for 10 trades. I'm prepared for 10 trades. That's how I'm going to play this game. And I will have stacking orders. So I would have an order, and then I will have an order below that. I will have an order below that, right? And then I'll also have orders above that and above that and above that. Now, each one of them, I would have a stop loss, right? Why? Because if If it goes below, then it triggers them and stops me out on one, but buys the next one. Stops me out on another, buys the next one. You see what I mean? As we stack down, if we do stack down, so there's an if scenario, because right now the market is completely unpredictable based on the weekly charts, right? If you look at the weekly chart, look at the weekly candle, you'll notice it's completely uncertain. It is not giving us anything. The candle's not saying it's going to be bullish or bearish. However, the other technical indicators that we use, like for me, I use a stochastic RSI. Stochastic RSI is saying, yes, we're ready to buy the dip and we move up. Now, so that's that, right? So Rooney top Kobe, I'm just saying Kobe, right? Kobe says FXRP. F and XRP. Funnily, XRP was giving us a bad signal. And then the other day when we crashed, it crashed down and actually the signal flipped bullish, right? So prior to that, ETH was showing bad signs. In fact, my last live stream, I specifically said, guys, be careful about XRP. It's signaling down. It's signaling overbought. It wants to go and test lower levels, right? So that's the only one we might see, but not to panic too much. Unfortunately, we had the black swan, which dumped it all the way to 170 something, right? Now, there are some people calling for 160. There are some people calling for 160. That is absolutely possible. Anything up to 122 for XRP, 122 is possible if we go towards that $86,000. So I would personally have a buy order there with a stop loss. Why? Because if it does go there, then I can pick it up. However, I'm not betting on that because, as I said, every indicator so far on the 12 hours daily, 3-day, 5-day are saying that, look, guys, we're oversold. We are bloody. We need to recover. That's what it's saying. So anytime now, I think we might see a recovery and then see where it goes. So we have to kind of be mindful about both scenarios and see where it goes. Now, ETH, Kobe says ETH, yeah, it's got a potential. ETH could be, how would I say this? So think about this. We had a black swan because it's political, but ETH could be that one coin that either makes us or breaks us. So the entire season, since freaking God knows when, right? I can't even remember. I think I've been banging on about 6-7 months now. ETH hasn't really done anything, right? BTC's gone new all-time high, right? ETH hasn't done anything. So this could be that moment where ETH kind of surprises everyone. So there's a potential. But again, if you buy with a stop loss. Don't be that guy who says, I'm going to buy and I'm going to hodl. Yeah, of course, you want to hodl for another 5 years. Great, good luck. Lock your money, put your money in, lock it into ETH, all right? And then stop looking at YouTube, stop looking at everything. Go and find some other apps to go and look at and view, and don't look at any crypto news. You'll be all right? Because if it goes bloody, it's going to go bloody, and if it goes up, it's going to go up, right? Don't look at it. That's what you do if you're going to hodl. But, if you're buying right now to make money, then the only option you have is, because we're at the beginning of the end, right? That means beginning of the end of the bull market. Please, 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 I urge all of you, buy with a stop loss. Don't be foolish. If you'd rather have the cash come back to you, 1%, 2%, 3%, 5% less, right? Come back to you so you can buy it cheaper if it bleeds. If it doesn't, by all means, it's going up. Make your money, take your profits, right? But don't do that mistake where you're going to be, I'm going to buy it, I might hold on, it's my asset. Yeah, it's my asset. Yeah, it definitely is my asset. But if the market bleeds out, you've got no dry powder, you've got a problem. Always think about that. It's like, okay, how do I recoup my dry powder? So that's what I'm going to say. So Kobe says, what's for certain? Nothing is certain, man. At this time, how can I say what's for certain? I don't have a crystal ball, bro. That's a very stupid question. That's the reason why I gave you two scenarios. That's the reason why I've given you two scenarios. I said on the way up, we might test the 109 and then get rejected, or shoot towards 133 or maybe even $200,000 on a BTC. That will lift the entire market, head towards $4 trillion and probably even $5 trillion. That's the probability. So there's two scenarios on the upside. On the downside, BTC goes to $86,000, probably dips, wicks down and then recovers, comes back, or goes all the way down. That's the two scenarios. So there's nothing certain right now on the candles. There is nothing certain. Right now, if there is any certainty that we have, is the market is oversold. That's the only signal we have that says oversold. Now we have to make a judgment call, because that indicator is nothing. right? Ultimately, we have to make that call. And just because the indicator says we're oversold doesn't mean anything. We can be oversold for another 6 months, right? Keep on going down, dipping the dip, right? So we have to make that personal call and say, right, okay, what am I comfortable with? Now, we are oversold. It's an opportunity. This is the best zone to buy. That's a certainty. But we could also be dipping all the way down even further, and the indicator is exactly the same, still telling us it's oversold. You see what I mean, right? So you got to make that call yourself. We don't judge anything. I mean, we tell a story, we talk about a narrative, we translate so for myself, I translate the chart. That's all I'm doing here, translating the chart to you guys so we can understand it in a layman's way. That's all it is. Very simple, very easy, right? No complicated stuff here. But ultimately, when you make that decision, I've given you all the ups and downs, whatever's going to happen. That call has to be made by you. Any indicators that we put on a chart, RSI, stochastic, MACD, whatever you want to call it, every type of a freaking bull market indicator, none of that matters, because ultimately they're just there giving you based on the candle patterns, whatever it is. They are not certain. They are not certain. They just tell us a story. That's it. You know what I mean? So yes, nothing is certain, man. Nothing is certain. But we can, for me, I can only tell you what's the probabilities are, right? And that's what I've been doing 4 years now, 5 years. No, I've hit 5 years now, or 4.5 years now on YouTube. I've been telling people what to expect, right? What to expect. Bubble here, nice to see you, my brother. Right? I've been telling people what to expect, right? And trying to keep people one step ahead of the game. You can go and watch all of my live streams, every single videos, and you'll see, if you look at the time and date, just kind of connect them. What you notice is I always talk about the future. I don't talk about the past. I'm not a freaking parrot. I don't do that. There are other channels out there who will tell you, regurgitate what Coin Telegraph talks about, or whatever the today's news was, or whatever people are talking about on Twitter, because they got nothing to talk about. They actually don't have any experience. They will present you with other people's stuff, right? To the point where they'll probably present me. Oh, that guy said this. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure if I go on Twitter and start doing this, right, I'll do quite right, right? And somebody's going to use my stuff, and that's what's happening, because they really don't have anything original. Do you know what I mean? So I'm here doing some original stuff, telling people what to expect, sometimes weeks in advance, sometimes days in advance. And of course, there are certain times where a black swan event like this happens, completely out of control, completely out of control. There is nothing you could do. Doesn't matter what the charts say, it will do the opposite. So there's nothing we can do about that. You know what I mean? So all I'm doing is analyzing the charts and telling you what the probabilities are, and how we should react, what the market should do, where we should hold support, where the resistance would be, and move forward. And then of course, most of the stuff that I talk about is usually my personal stuff, because I'm not here trying to give any financial advice to anyone. So this is not commercial. You know what I mean? So I'll tell you what I've done. You do whatever you want to do. It's your money. Go and burn it. Do whatever. I always say this, right? And none of this is financial advice. So that's what it is. But other than that, if you have any other questions or anything, let me know. I'll happily talk about it, try and answer a few bits and bobs here if I can. Smash the like button, hit that subscribe if you haven't already, and there's a whole bunch of links down there, but don't click any of them, just maybe the Discord if you want. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I'll sometimes, like, when I'm free. Right now I'm really busy, but when I'm free, I'll jump on a live every single day. No joke, I'll jump on a live every single day. And then other times I'm kind of busy. So right now I'm kind of busy. One thing led to another. So I was doing some work in my own home. So let me tell you the story here, right? So kind of personal, right? But I was doing some renovation work in my own home. And then a friend of mine, he wanted some work done in his house as well. So I said, all right, fine, I'll come and help you out. So I help him out. And then what's happened from there is quite crazy. It's insanity, right? So a bunch of agents, like lettings agents and whatnot, they've come along. They've seen the work, the quality of the work. They've ended up offering me a job to work for them on a couple of projects as well. So one thing led to another, and yeah, I mean, the offer they gave me, I can't say no. Do you know what I mean? So it's not bad. So it depends on the quality of work, of course you do. So I said to them, I said, look, the quality of work is there, but you've got to pay for the materials, right? End of the day. So yeah, I mean. Jaffa says, do you think a BTC reserve will be announced in Q1? Even if there is, my brother, it doesn't really matter. BTC, I know a lot of people follow those politics, and that's the problem. We shouldn't follow those. Check this out. Hear me out and try and understand me, and try and make sense of what I'm going to say to you right now. Right? This will be so cool, right? So Trump has promoted, he's a pro crypto president. Great. In fact, if you look on the other side, everybody was pro crypto at that time. Funnily, almost all political parties became pro crypto. So we know that's a part of their narrative. Now, if we ignore the news, if we ignore the political stuff, right, we were already doing okay even before Trump announced it. Don't forget, we were already pushing up before Trump announced it. People forget that. People also forget that he was anti-crypto prior to being pro-crypto, right? Okay, fine. People also forget that he's already made a whole bunch of crypto. So you got to look at, this is probably a personal thing, whatever. Right, okay, fine, none of that matters. He's announced a whole bunch of stuff to hype people up. But how many percent? Because this is important. I've talked about this on other videos as well. I said, guys, globally, how many percent of the world globally are actually buying, selling, trading crypto? Not much. So when you look at the numbers and then when you start dissecting the numbers and say, okay, how many percent of that is in the USA? And then in the USA, how many percent of that do you think actually voted for Trump? And then you start looking at them, it's not much. So people are blowing it out of proportion with the media and all the other stuff. Of course, a lot of it's paid promotions, right? Which is fine. I'm okay with that. I'm happy if it pumps, great, right? But I'm also trying to stick to the facts. I'm like, look, the numbers do not make sense. So based on the percentage of people who are interested in crypto, including Trump, very small percentage of the entire globe, he wants to put it into the reserve, but Federal Reserve is above the law. Federal Reserve is above the law, above the president, right? So he can only suggest it. He can't force them to do it. As much as he says he can, I don't think he can, right? So I don't know. I mean, maybe they are going to change some sort of a law or whatever. But so far as I know, Federal Reserve doesn't answer to the government, right? So they're an independent body, like the pharmaceuticals and whatnot. They're independent bodies. So that's how I see it. So yeah, he wants to put it, great. You know, end of the day, if it comes, it comes, right? We're talking about Q1. We are already in Q1. We only got, what, month and a half, just over a month and a half for Q1 to finish, right? Because it's quarter one. So end of March, that's all we have. Even if he announces it, great. The rumor that I've heard so far is if he does announce it, it won't be in one go, right? They will buy it over like the next 10, 15, 20 years. So whatever they announce would be over the next 15, 20 years, right? So think about that as well. So that means, hold on, how many Bitcoin do we actually have available to buy? And how many are they going to buy? And if they do it over 10, 15, 20 years, the rumor, as I said, it's a rumor, they're going to do it over 10, 15, 20 years, great. But what's stopping the next president to come and say, I don't want it? Do you see what I mean? So you got to consider all of those things as well, right? And then say, for example, Trump is in power for the next 4 years. Yeah, fine. The next 4 years, they buy a small percentage, divide whatever they're going to buy. There's a lot of maths involved, and you got to really make sense of all of that. So if you ignore all of that, we're doing okay. The charts have been navigating us the entire time. Before Trump's announcement, before Trump announcing he wants to become a president, before the elections and everything, we've predicted everything as it should be. So it had nothing to do with the news. And I don't follow the news. I don't look at the news. That's why I'm a lot more calmer. I see things a complete different way. You know, I don't look at all of that stuff because that's just noise, absolute noise. When you ignore that, you'll realize that he's not connected to Bitcoin. Trump is not connected to Bitcoin, right? Trump may be connected to Ethereum, great, but how much? There are whales with thousands and thousands of Ethereum in their wallets. So Trump's nowhere near that. So when we take things out of proportion, right, because of some narrative, our judgments are clouded. But when we start taking a few steps back, looking at things for what they are, like, hold on, he doesn't hold a big bag. So why is everyone else getting punished for? You got to look at it that way. Do you see what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. I hope you understood where I'm coming from. But even if he announces it, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference, right? I mean, the other day, I read an article on a news feed. Nayib Bukele, right, from El Salvador, bought 2 more Bitcoin. I'm thinking, seriously? He just bought two? And that's a big news? Do you know what I mean? Some media company, news company on Google, I forgot which newspaper it was, blown it out of proportion. He bought 2 Bitcoin. Wow. 2 Bitcoin. Freaking amazing. He bought 2 Bitcoin for his reserve. But hold on, I thought a few months prior to that, the IMF gave him a condition, right? You want to borrow money from us, you can't have BTC. So think about that. You got to look at all of those things. That's what I'm saying, brother. That's what I'm saying. So end of the day, you know, each to their own. Of course, all my advice is that, look, just don't cloud your judgment. Don't look at the news and take it all in as if that's what it is, right? He bought 11 yesterday. Okay, there you go. So he bought 2 the other day, bought 11 more the other day. Great, no problem, right? But what I'm saying is when we look at certain things, when we look at the news, right, we get excited for certain things. But what we have to understand, there are also other motives behind it as well. But if we ignore all of these things, we are completely oblivious to all of this. Guess what? It doesn't affect us. It doesn't even bother us. We just focus on the charts. So for me, I only focus on the charts. News, yeah, I hear bits and bobs. People tell me, people message me. Oh yeah, great, no worries, no worries. You know, but I'm not following that. Doesn't matter, right? Trump putting it on the reserve doesn't matter, right? Because as I said, another president tomorrow, or like 4 years down the line, could come and change that. We don't want it. And you know very well that's a probability, right? You know very well that's a probability. So that's a reality, man. You know, as politics, different parties come in, different narratives change. It's always the case. So ultimately, remember one thing, right? Politicians do not come into power for the people, right? They do not come into the power for the people. Ultimately, they come in for power for whatever benefits the country. So country first before people. Remember, people are not important. Country is important. So whatever they do it for something else. There's always another ulterior motive. I mean, hence why I don't vote. I don't follow politics that much. I do like Trump. I do like his speeches and whatnot he's done. I do like him as a person. I've always mentioned that I like him as a person. You know, compared to some of our idiots in UK, for example, we've got loads of idiots in the UK running the government. Don't like any of them because they don't care, and it's blatant. They don't care about the people, right? You know, so that's how it is, man. But yeah, if now you bought another 11, great. You know, but again, as I said, the IMF situation that happened, so I'm not sure what's going on. So you got to understand, it's like once you hear bad news, another time it's a good news. Like, make your minds up which one's going to be. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I know about that. I know the 2021. Come on, everyone. That's where he became popular, right? That's the 2021, right? He bought that and he proved something for his country, which is great, right? So of course I know about that. But what I'm saying is recently, because there has been a situation with the IMF, right? He wanted to borrow some money from the IMF and they gave him a condition and they said something about he can't hold BTC or something like this. There was some crazy news about that. Again, I'm ignoring it. I don't care. You see what I mean? So him buying is great. It's great for everybody. But when you have that mixed news, it gets a bit confusing. Do you know what I mean? Oh, sorry, you bought. Okay. All right, you use Leaden, yeah? Okay. Leaden has been around since 2017 or 2018, if I remember correctly. KR, when you're asking, everything is safe until it's not. All right? Celsius was safe until it's not. What's it? There's another one called I forgot that name. BlockFi. BlockFi was good until BlockFi stopped serving UK. So they're still around, by the way. They're institutionalized. They're not around UK anymore. There's another one called, I forgot what it's called, but it starts with N. I forgot. It starts with N. So they're still around. They're still available in UK, but it is what it is. And then you got Leaden, which is actually a on-chain protocol, right? So it's on a protocol. It's on a like kind of a decentralized one. So yeah, again. Careful because it's possibly classed. Yes, I mean in the UK now everything is taxable. Even when you transfer, so you put if you buy from GBP to BTC, which is fine, it's not technically a taxable event. But if you take BTC and put it into USDT or USDC, boom, all of a sudden it's a taxable. It's like, hold on, isn't it the same as fiat? No, taxable event. You bring BTC back to pound, taxable event. So you got to be very careful about those things. Oh man. Oh my God, BitConnect. You remember BitConnect? Yeah, exactly. BitConnect. BitConnect was the biggest scam out there, man. Hilarious. You know what? BitConnect flagged me. So check this out. I'll tell you about Jaffa. I'm going to tell you about BitConnect, right? This is hilarious, right? So BitConnect was introduced to me back in 2015, right? A friend of mine, he introduced me to BitConnect. So I saw it. I actually did invest $4,000, right, into BitConnect. So I'm being transparent. I did invest $4,000 and everything looked good, right? In fact, I put $4,000 in, and then I actually took $2,000 out. So I lost $2,000, by the way, in BitConnect. I lost $2,000. But what the thing that flagged to me was when I did a search. So randomly, I just like I need to search their office and whatnot, and I realized where their office was. And then so I said, okay, hold on, checked out their office, right, the address, right. And I used to be a cab driver, so I know the locations. And I saw it. I was like, isn't that a desk? So BitConnect was a registered UK company with a freaking desk. I was like, seriously? That's where I'm putting my money? I'm out. But by that time, it was too late. So I lost $2,000 on that one, BitConnect. uh, yes, you're right about that. If you borrow against it, and then you're just paying it back with the profit. So you technically, yes, it's not bad. So that's not bad. But be careful though. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, all I'm going to say is be careful with these things. Again, if you're putting it into another protocol, you're definitely trusting someone else. So only put money you can afford to lose. That's all I'm going to advise. That's all I'm going to advise. Right? So yeah, be very careful. Be very, very careful. You know, but saying that, there is a strategy, which I'm not going to talk about here, but there is a strategy. Like, for example, if you borrow at a higher rate and the market crashes all the way down to nothing, then all that happens is you get liquidated, or the collateral, you lose your collateral, right? But you get to keep all of those amounts. So, yes. Good. That's how it should be. You should never ever have more than 5 to 10%. That's it. You always risk a very small amount. Most people who come and trade and even buying and selling or whatever they're doing, right, usually go like 100% in and out. And believe me, I've done it in the past, right? But I've learned over time. I mean, I've been in it for a very long time. I think currently almost 10 years now. It's been a decade I've been in crypto. So for me, I learned the hard way. Do you know what I mean? And now I was like, okay, now I'm more smarter. I know exactly what to do. So when I'm trading 5 to 10% maximum of the portfolio, that's the amount I'm willing to lose. Anything more, I'm keeping. And of course, every time I'm trading, I'm also trading with a stop loss so I can protect my funds. That's what I've said. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Not your coins, not your keys. That's what I'm saying. Even about so Leaded has been around for quite a long time actually. I can't remember 2017 or 2018 they came out. So they've been around, and yeah, I mean, they're pretty good so far. Originally, people were doing it with Ethereum and whatnot, which is actually not bad. They've become a lot more popular since some of the centralized ones stopped, like in the UK and whatnot, like stopped. So the decentralized one, of course. But when you're locking your Bitcoin or Ethereum on an escrow, which somebody else controls, you're literally giving it away to them. You got to trust them. So end of the day, only trust them with money you can literally afford to lose, because they could end up being another Celsius, they could end up being another BlockFi. Well, BlockFi actually didn't do anything. BlockFi gave me my cash. So BlockFi, what they did was they liquidated all my assets that I had with them, because I was with them for a long time. They liquidated it, they converted it to GBP without my knowledge, because they were not going to do it anyway. So they converted to GBP and they actually transferred it back to my bank account. So that was quite cool. It's not like they run off with my money or anything like this. And they're still around. They just can't trade in the UK because they don't have a license. They're very like regulated in New York or whatever. So that's what it is. So KR says he does spot only. Spot's the best. The spot, it's your asset. Worst case scenario, it's your piece of land, right? Spot is your piece of land. That's what it is. So anything else, guys, please let me know. If not, then yeah, I'm not going to be here forever. I'm not going to be here forever. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've got 10 days to close that candle. 10 days. That 2-week candle I was talking about, we've literally got 10 days and 4 hours to close that candle. So after 10 days, we're going to find out. So that's basically the 16th, not the 15th. It's the 16th of this month. We're going to find out what the market wants to do, because that's when the 2-week candle will confirm whether we're bullish or bearish. So anything would happen between that time, guys. And keep in mind what I said, the 86k is a number to keep in mind. Keep that in mind, because that's our worst case scenario. And I've explained the scenarios here. Just watch the video again if you want. I don't want to make it too long. We've been here 50 minutes now. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And of course, as I said to KR and everybody else as well on Discord, guys, if you ever want me to come on live or whatnot, of course I'm busy with life and all sorts of other stuff. And as I said, I've just been offered an offer too good to be true, right? You know, a great offer. So end of the day, I might be doing a bit of contract work, because why not, right? It's a lot more money than I was expecting, let's put it this way. So I might do that. I don't have an issue. A few projects here and there. So that means I might do less lives. But if you guys want lives or whatnot, just ask and I'll come on and I'll deal with it, man. Jaffa says I need to make green tea and roll some herbs. Bro, put some of that herb into your green tea. It tastes good. See you shortly if you're still on. I won't be. No, it's been 50 minutes. I don't want to drag this too long, because what happens traditionally, and this is the YouTube thing, right? Most people, they don't have an attention span for more than 2 minutes. Most, 95%. Others maybe 10 minutes, right? And if you're lucky, you get 15 minutes out of people, and then they're gone. So nobody ever sticks around for the entire duration. So we've probably got 100 views on this, but consistently there's only been 4, 5, 6 people here the whole time. Do you know what I mean? So end of the day, there's no point dragging it longer. I'm not here for the watch time and whatnot. We do get a lot anyway on the channel, but I'm not here for that. We think we did our whatever we need to get out there, the message that I need to get out there. I got that out there. I hope all of you guys got the info that you need to understand on the upside what we can expect, and on the downside what we can expect, plus what the RSI is telling us, what the stochastic RSI is telling us. So we already know we got the signal to say we should buy, right? The signal is definitely there, but do it with a caution. That's what I'm saying to everybody, okay? And don't do anything crazy, because right now the typical stuff that we saw in the past, right, how we used to analyze stuff from the past, we can't analyze it like that. We have to take each day at a time. And I've mentioned this on another video as well, because someone was asking me, it's like, oh, I think the market's going to go for another 3 months, 4 months. I said, I'm taking each day as it comes, right? Each day as it comes, because we're at the beginning of the end. And that's what everybody needs to understand. And that's the only message I've been trying to give to people. I said, guys, this is not the time to go bullish and crazy stuff. This is not the time to go all in. All right, this is the time to now start thinking about your exit strategy, right? Because we're at that stage of the market. And of course, once all of this is over, when the market resets, we're going to be at a stage again where we want to go all in. I'm the type of a guy who will tell you around that time, guys, we're ready, right? You know, remember last time when we said, like, if we go below $20,000, freaking sell your house, sell your kidney, sell your wife, right? So similar way, we will have a situations, but we just don't know what level we should expect as our low bottom level, like last time. So once we get all of those signals, once we get all of those numbers, we should be good. But until then, we just got to pray, hope everything goes good, and yeah, see where we go. So Jaffa says, peace, brother. Peace to you too, my brother. Thank you very much. KR, thank you very much for coming to the show. Jason, thank you very much for coming to the show as well. I do appreciate that. Bubble was here. Bubble, nice to see you as well, my brother. And I'm gonna catch you guys on another one. As I said, just ping me on Discord if you want a live or something. If you want me to talk about something, I'll happily come, just like KR did today. I'll happily come on if I have the time. Of course, if I don't, I'll say I can't. You know what I mean? But I'm always transparent. So my name is Sham. This is 0x5, and the truth is always out there, as I say. So the truth could be on YouTube, live streams and whatnot, or it could be on Discord. But what I say, I stand by. So that's what I'm going to say. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.